Welcome once again, and I believe you've already subscribed to my YouTube channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed to it yet, kindly click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do well to also share it with your friends, like, and also comment. In our previous video, we were able to look at the various essay writing methods. So that is, we're able to throw more light on the essay writing. That's it. Introduction, how to write introduction, how to write body, and then how to also write concluding paragraph or a conclusion. Today we are coming to look at a different thing, that is section 7. Section 7 is the focus today, and section 7 has to do with the essay writing, that is planning the essay. Okay, so before you write essay, there are certain things you need to do. Before then, I just need to give you some few advice. I always say this, that proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. Put it at the back of your mind that a certain guy told you that anytime you fail to plan, anytime you fail to plan, you have what? Plan to fail. That is it. It's either you plan or you fail. So I hope you do your best, and this video is also going to help you. So as I've already said, we are coming to look at the process and how to plan an essay. Before they give you essay to write, there are so many things you need to do before you start. You don't just wake up and start writing. If you do that, you always deviate. But any effective essay, before coming up with any good essay, you need to plan well, decide on what word to at least come up with, where and when you are to do certain things. All these things are very, very important. That's why we are bringing you this session. So section 7, as I said, now let's look at the process approach. When you talk of process approach, in writing an academic essays, students should use process approach in writing rather than product approach. So when you say process approach, in writing, in every academic essay, we use processes in arriving at a conclusion. It follows a laid down procedure. Before you begin to write, you must follow a process. Before you write any essay, you must follow a laid down process. Do you get it? So if you end up writing, you will deviate, like I already said. So there should be a laid down process. You start with the introduction, and even introduction, you don't just start writing anything. You use the bag. You come up with a background, a thesis statement. After you are done with your thesis statement, now the thesis statement is going to introduce the developmental paragraphs. So now you know what your thesis statement is. You come up with the developmental paragraphs, the points that you are going to write or develop in the body. So you develop one, and if you are developing even a paragraph or a developmental paragraph, that one too, you need to use a certain process, which is coming with a topic sentence, a major minor supporting sentence, and a concluding paragraph. Before you can say this paragraph is complete, then you go to another paragraph. Before you even before you even write different paragraphs, you must use transitional words, something like secondly, in light of, in addition, furthermore. These are transitional words that you can use. You don't just write number 1, number 2 like the way we used to do in DHS. That thing is no more. You can't use this method again. So instead of using number 1, number 2, numbering them, say firstly, secondly, thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, You get it? If you think it is boring, you can be using furthermore, in addition, again, ultimately, and that is it. If you want in conclusion, in summary, do you get it? These are some of the concluding words you can use to make your essay so nice. After you are done with the body, now you conclude it. The conclusion, you know that you don't introduce a new idea in the conclusion. You repeat the ideas you've already stated in your body, conclude everything there, and in conclusion, you can give an opinion, a suggestion, or anything. Do you get it? A remark. That is all about it. So it is what? A process. So the process approach in writing the process approach, it is recommended approach towards writing essays. In academic writing, the process approach is what? The recommended approach to writing essays. The process approach uses the writing process to what? Accomplish easy writing task. So that is why I said in writing what? Academic essays, you must use the process approach. And the process approach is what? The process writing using the writing process to accomplish the essay writing task. So that is it. Now let's look at this the writing process as we've already spoken about. We have three writing process. Writing process involves what? Three main stages, which is what? The pre-writing or pre-drafting. Anytime you hear something like preschool, it means before. Anytime you are reading something and any word that begins with pre, it means that before. So pre-writing means before you write, or pre-drafting. It is the same. Pre-marriage, before you marry. Do you get it? Pre-independence means before we gain independence. Preschool, before you start school. Whatever, any word that begins with pre means that before. So pre-writing means before you start the essay, there are certain things you need to do. And then the second writing process is what? That is writing or drafting stage. And then the last is post-writing or post-drafting. Drafting, when you say drafting, is the same as writing, so don't let it confuse you. Post also means after. Okay, so after writing, what next? What should I do after writing my essay? What should I do? So that is all about the post writing. So now we are coming to look at the three writing processes, which is what? The pre-writing or pre-drafting, the writing or drafting stage, and then post-writing or post-drafting. So we will take them one after the other, break them into pieces so you can understand them better. Pre-writing or pre-drafting stage, this is one of the most important stage. If you miss this pre-writing stage, or you don't really plan it really well, your essay, you are going to deviate. So it is very, very important, the pre-writing stage. Every essay that you write, the quality of your essay is being determined by your pre-writing stage, the preparation you make before the essay. That's why I say proper preparation prevents poor performance. These exams that you are going to write, before the exams, if you don't prepare, don't expect that you are going to deliver. So preparation before every event matters. If you are going to sing, if you're a musician and you don't prepare well before you go to a program, you will mess up. Do you get it? If you're a footballer, you're going to play football and you don't prepare well before you go to the stage, you will mess up. So before you do anything, you need to prepare. If you are entering into marriage and you don't prepare well before entering into marriage, you will mess up. So it is very, very important for you to prepare before you do something. Now, so the pre-writing or pre-drafting is the first stage in the writing process. It mainly involves planning and preparation. That's why I said planning and preparation. So you need to plan. This is where you do the necessary arrangement, the necessary preparation that you need to do. You do all those ones. So we will look at the preparation. What kind of preparation are we talking about, or what kind of preparation do we need to do when we are given an essay to write? Now, I think this is going to guide you for many years. What you are learning here is going to guide you for many years. It's not only academic writing, but if you're writing a lot of articles and stuff, you become a a journalist or whatever, a writer, these things are going to be of benefit to you in the future. So you need to pay attention to it. It mainly involves planning and preparation. Pre-writing includes several activities. Now we're coming to look at the activities under pre-writing. What are the activities? The activities under pre-writing, we have in some cases, pre-writing starts with selecting the topic. Do you get it? It's either they give you the topic or you select your topic. In some essays, especially argumentative essays, they will give you a topic, and you will come out with what you will determine. You will come up. They will give you some topic, but you are to what develop your own topic and write about that. So they tell you that IMF has been the downfall of Ghana. Discuss. This one is an argumentative essay, because it says that IMF has been the downfall of Ghana. So it's either you speak in favor of the motion or you go against it. So you will develop your own topic by saying that IMF has been the backbone of Ghana's economy. So you see, you have developed your own topic. But in some essays, they give you straight topic for you to write about it. Descriptive essays and other form of essays. That when they give you the topic, then you write about it. But if you are writing your own, every academic writing student, you should be a creator. You should be able to create things. You get it? So if you are writing, it's either you create your topic or you develop your topic, or someone gives you the topic to write about. So that is all about it. But most especially when you get to level 300 and 400, they will give you this 10 papers and project work. So some of the project work, they will give you a topic to write about. Some of them you have to develop your own topic. When choosing a topic, students should ensure the topic is neither too broad or too narrow. When you say it shouldn't be too broad, it shouldn't cover things that are not supposed to be in the essay. Don't overcover things that are not supposed to be in a topic. So it should be it shouldn't be too broad and too narrow too. You don't leave some of the things out, the things that you need to talk about. Okay, if assuming you want to talk about the economic issue of Ghana, and you single out just one thing to talk about that by leaving other things out, that's why we say it is too narrow. So that is, you should avoid them. And in other cases, you may be given the topic by the lecturer, as I've already said. So the activities in writing academic essays, that is what we are coming to do. So after choosing or being given a topic, pre-writing may include the following activities. So we have analyzing the essay title. First process in after if they give you the topic, that one is cool. So if they give you the topic, the first stage you need to focus on is to analyze the essay title. But if they don't give you the topic, the first thing you need to do is write your own, come up with your own topic. And then after coming up with your own topic, the second stage will be analyzing the essay title. The next stage is gathering information for the essay, and then the last stage under the pre-writing is organizing the information. So we take these activities and break them into pieces for you to understand them. So we'll be looking at analyzing the essay title. How do we analyze the essay title? Analyzing the essay title involves reading the title carefully. Please pay attention. Analyzing the essay title involves reading the essay title carefully to understand the main requirements. In most circumstances or in most cases, whenever they give you essay, they will ask you some of the essays start with this: examine the consequences of sovereignty war. Do you get it? They give you some things like that. They sometimes they also tell you, discuss the challenges of Ghana, or highlight the challenges of Ghana, outline the features of what democratic system of Ghana. So some of these words you need to understand them. Some students, when you ask them to list, then they will be explaining for you. If you don't pay attention to these things, that's why most of you deviate and you get low marks, and at the end of the day you'll be blaming your lecturers that the lecturers didn't give you the marks you deserve. Hey, this one they have already wrote 7 pages. I'm expecting A. It will come and you get C or D, and you'll be thinking the lecturer has played you wicked, or he has mafiaed you. But that wasn't the case, because you didn't analyze the title well. The lecturer didn't expect you to explain them for him. He just wanted you to list. If you say list, if they give you an essay, they say list, you just don't have to write plenty. If you list it, you can decide to maybe write 2 or 3 sentences in your sentence. If you are trying to explain it, you don't have to maybe write more than 5 lines when you are listing something. You don't need to write more than 5 lines. You can give just 2 lines explanation to it, or 3 lines. That's all. You are listing it. It depends on the paper that you are writing, especially social science courses. If they say list, at least write 5 lines or 6 lines is okay. Courses like info study, if they say list, if it is about computer system, just write computer system and leave it there. If it is about science as a science course, they ask you to list the component of computer, or if it is ICT, ICT say list components of computer. You just list them and go. Or outline is the same thing. Do you get it? Outline, just list it and go somewhere. They say explain or examine. Especially when they say examine, you need to do a lot of work. So you need to first pay attention to the essay title. The essay title, is it talking about, are you going to examine it? Are you going to explain? Are you going to inform it? Are you going to persuade? Are you going to persuade the essay title? Is it about persuading someone? Is it about informing? Is it about giving information? All these things, you need to know them. So in analyzing the essay title, pay attention to it. If you don't analyze the essay title well, you will deviate. So this is very, very important. You need to pay attention to it. Pay attention to all of them. So carefully analyzing the essay title helps a student to first determine the actual focus of the topic. Okay, so it helps you to know the actual focus. Are you going to analyze it? Are you going to examine? Are you going to compare and contrast? Are you going to is it going to be argumentative essay? You get it. It will help you know the focus, what you are to write about, and then it also help you to determine exactly what is required. For instance, whether you are to describe, narrate, or compare, so you know what exactly is what required. If you are going to narrate, you know how you go about it. If you are going to compare, you know how you go about it. And also, thirdly, it help you in deciding what information and how much information is needed to complete the essay. So that is one important. These are the 3 importance of analyzing the essay title. So now, after analyzing the essay title, that you know what you are going to do, it will just help you to gather more information for the essay. Since you know you are going to explain, and they're giving you a concept like democracy. They say define democracy. You know that you are going to define democracy. So it will help you in gathering more information, how the word came about, how the explanation, countries that practice democracy, and the benefit, the merit and then demerit of democracy, and maybe the implications and all those things. It will help you in gathering. So now we are done with analyzing the essay title. So the next stage under the pre-writing is gathering information for the essay. So now that you know Now that you have finished analyzing the essay title, now you have to gather information. So here, after analyzing the essay title, the next activity is to find and gather information for the essay. There are several ways of gathering information for an academic essay. Do you get it? So in gathering information for the essay, now there are so many ways you can gather information for the essay. It's either you go to the library, you go to the internet to search certain things, you read some book articles, you go through your lecture notes, what the lecturer told you, to gather more information. So this is the next stage in playwriting or in preparing for essays. These are some of the things. If it is exams, that one you don't have the phone to search or you don't have the book to go through. So you use the brainstorming method. When you talk of brainstorming method, you sit down and you rack your brain. You think about it. Okay, they say we should talk about corruption. Okay, okay, the challenges of Ghana. Assuming they ask you to write about the challenges of Ghana or the underdevelopment, discuss the underdevelopment of Ghana. Okay, what are some of the things that are making Ghana underdeveloped? So you sit down. Okay, there was a time that there was some corruption issue. Wyoming actually there was some issue that Wyoming, that money like this, it's a corrupt issue. So corruption, right? Okay, Cecilia Dapatu, they said she's keeping some money in her own room. Do you get it? So okay, so how do I develop this point? Okay, then let me put them under corruption. Do you get it? Now you've developed a point. Okay, one of the challenges of Ghana, I think, okay, when President Mahama came, he mismanaged the country, and Akufo-Addo too is West. So okay, let me talk about bad leadership. So you know how you relate that one in your essay. Do you get it? Also one of the challenges of Ghana is economic mismanagement. That one you talk about it. So that is what brainstorming. That's what brainstorming. And you can use free writing. Free writing is you put your pen on the paper and any idea that comes into your mind, and you just be writing it without pausing. You keep on writing. So when you are done, you edit them. You pick the necessary point out. So that is it. And other forms of research. In researching, you can use other forms of research involves experiment, interviews, and surveys. And information could be gathered from lectures, seminars, and what have you. So I've also spoken about the brainstorming. You can brainstorm and gather more information for the essay. And at the end of free writing and brainstorming, there may be a large pool of information. Only the relevant should be selected for the essay. So after you are done, especially when they give you essay to write and you go to the internet, you say causes of air pollution. You go to the internet, you get so many information, but you select the relevant one. If they say talk about 3 causes of air pollution, you select the relevant or the most important ones, and the one that you can write with. And then you pick them. So you talk all the most common ones that you think they are the best. So you pick those ones, and then you get it. So now that after gathering the information, now you're coming to organize them. So organization of information has to do with what? Outline, drawing an outline. When we say outline, now you know that you're coming to talk about now that let me give the example I gave earlier, the underdevelopment of Ghana. Discuss the underdevelopment of Ghana. One is corruption, one is mismanagement, and then the last one is the party system. The party system in Ghana is also one of the reasons why Ghana is underdevelopment. Do you get it? So you have these 3 points to discuss. Or do you get it? So now it is up for you to now draw an outline. It's up to you to draw an outline for all these things. So you arrange them. Okay, then I think I have to talk about bad leadership first. Then I talk about this one will be my third point. This one will be my fourth point. So this is an outline. Okay, so if I pick bad leadership, what are some of the things I should talk about? Okay, the kickback. Okay, you talk about kickback. Kickback is where they give contract to contractors and then they take 10% of it. This is one of the issues. And then incompetency. Okay, when I talk this, I'll talk about incompetency of some leaders, the way they mismanage the public funds and all those stuff. You pick them. So you know that if you pick point 1, these are some of the ideas you are going to discuss in point 1. You know, if you pick point 2, this is the ideas you are going to discuss. Okay, I'm going to talk about when it talk about the corruption, I'm going to use Wyoming and this one, a merit deal, as what an example. I'm going to state all those ones as my example. So at the end of the day, you know whatever that you are coming to write about. So when you take it it becomes so easy for you to write. So after organizing the information from the textbook, journals, and then doing your free sketch and what have you, the next step is to organize information, as I've already told you. The most one effective way to organize information for an essay is to make an outline, as I've already told you. Now we are done with the pre-writing stage. I said the pre-writing stage has to do with your three steps. That is what analyzing the essay title, analyzing the essay title, and then the next step is what? Gathering information for the essay, and then the last step is what? The outline, drawing an outline, or organizing the information, okay, for the essay. Now we are done with the pre-writing, so now let's look at the drafting, okay, how to draft the essay or writing. No, you have a pool of information already. You have all the necessary information. So now you are coming to write your essay. So how do you write the essay? So after making an outline, the writer moves to the second stage of writing process, namely writing or drafting. In assignment, the writing or drafting stage include the following steps. The first, initial draft, rewriting or what? Revising. So when you are writing, now you've organized your information, everything. So now when you are writing, it's either if it is an assignment, the first initial draft, you first write something down, you read and edit them and rewrite it or revise it. So that is all about the writing stage. So the first draft involves the following. The first draft involves following the outline to write the various paragraphs for the essay. So rewriting includes what? Modification that is done to the first draft to revise and complete the essay, such as organizing, changing and deleting the information or adding the information, and then reorganizing the paragraphs. Okay, that is also another point under the first initial draft, and also ensuring unity, completeness, and cohesion or coherence. That is the most important thing in writing stage. And then in an examination, there may not be any opportunity for rewriting or revision. So the first draft may be the only draft. Hence, it should be carefully composed. So because in examination you don't have the time to write and do rewriting and all those stuff, you have to first draw a very good outline. That's where you do some sketching. So mostly you see when I write my first point, if I'm to talk about corruption, I'll just draw some lines. I'll just use some sketch and join it to that one. So the points I'll be developing in the form of sketch. Then I know that I'll be talking about definition. So I'll draw a line, connect it to my points, and then maybe definitions, and then second one, Wyoming, third one, Cecilia Dapa, and then I give something like a conclusion. So if I'm writing and I look through my question paper, the question paper where I did the sketching, I know that the first I'm to define the concept. Do you get it? Second, I'm to relate the incidents of Wyoming and Cecilia, the part to corruption, and how Ghana has lost huge sum of money to these corrupt issues. And then the last aspect is I have to give a conclusion. So I know whatever I'm going to write. So when you are doing that, it will help you. You won't make plenty mistakes down to just end up writing it like that. You will make a lot of mistakes. You write this and you think, oh, this one I should have even bring Wyoming, and there may not be chance for you to cancel and write again. So you have to take care before you write it. And then after drafting, so our last stage and the final stage is post writing. That is after you are done with the writing. What next? After you are done writing the essay, the next stage is the final stage is is the post writing stage. So the post writing stage, it involves two process or two activities. That is the proofreading and editing. Proofreading. So when you talk of proofreading, it's involves reading the essay carefully in order to notice errors in spellings, grammar usage, punctuations, omissions, and grammatical inaccuracies, while editing involves correcting such errors. So I've explained the proofreading and then the editing to you. In your exams, they can give you an essay or a comprehension. Then they ask you with errors, and they ask you to identify them, or they ask you to rewrite them. So when you are reading, you know that this place I'm to bring comma here, I'm to bring full stop, apostrophe here, and you have to rewrite everything and correct every mistake that you've done. So they may give you the comprehension, they ask you to edit them. So your work is to proofread, identify where the problems is, and then now that you know where the problem is, you correct them. So the final stage is proofreading. The proofreading is where you identify the grammatical errors and everything. That's what we call proofreading. And when you try to correct them or rewrite it and make those corrections, that is what we call editing. And it's always advisable to proofread the essay and correct all errors before submission. Most cases, whenever we are done writing essays, we don't go back to read them. Me myself, I'm a victim. I don't like reading everything that I've written. Me, the moment I write, I feel lazy to read it back. But it's not good. I'm not saying you should learn from me. You get it? You have to read everything you write and correct the errors before you submit it. Especially if you have to post it online or submit it to a lecturer, you must edit them before you submit. You don't just write and say you are okay. There may be errors or some mistakes inside, so you need to do all those stuff. So we are done with session 7. So we are coming to look at the practical aspect, which is session 8. We are coming to look at the practical aspect, which is student practicing writing. Student practice writing a full-length essay, and then rewriting and proofreading. This is what we are now coming to do. So I've already guide you on how to the writing process, how to go about it, how to gather information, how to organize information, and how to also write, how to edit. All those things I've already taken you through. Now we are coming to use. They have given you a topic. Now we are coming to write about the topic. So following the writing process here. Here are some guidelines in composing an essay on the title. Disease from the present are different from disease of the past. Discuss. So in the exams, if they give you something like this and they say you should discuss, it is now time for you to sit down and analyze and write. Okay, so the first stage, what did I say? I said the first stage is what? To analyze the essay title. Is that not it? Here they have given you the essay title, so you don't need to what? Come up with what? A title. So they have given you the title already, and they said you should what? You should now discuss. So you have to first look at it. Okay, diseases of the present age are different from diseases of the past age. If you have to discuss this one, now you look at it, it is not saying you should talk about the similarities, but it is what? Asking you to write about the differences of diseases of the past and the present. So the past, so what is the past? Or so you can go back somewhere 2005 there, or 1990s there, the 19th century there, the diseases that were common within that era, and then you look at the current diseases like what do we call them, the coronavirus and some of these newly diseases that are in the system. So you look at all these things, but there are some diseases that has been there for time immemorial. Something like cholera and other stuff. They've been there for a long time. Malaria, they've been there for a long time. So these ones, the essay is not asking you to write about the similarities. So you see, I told you that analyzing the essay title will help you to know what you have to write. Do you get it? So now you know that you're coming to write about the differences. So it will help you in gathering information. So if you have to go and do research, now that you've analyzed the essay title, you are done analyzing the essay title. The next thing is what? Go and gather information for the essay. So how do you gather information for the essay? It's by doing research. Is that not it? You do research. You go to the internet and you search for it, or you ask friends about it, your parents. Okay, you go to your grandmom or whosoever and you ask a person about the diseases of the past. So the person may be able to tell you, or you can go to go to the libraries and other stuff to get certain information about those diseases. So you look at those diseases in the past, and then you look at the current one. It is easy. They are around you. Those diseases are around you. People are going through a lot of stuff. They are, and those diseases are new diseases that are in the system. So now you gather, it's okay. It's either you decide to talk about 3 diseases of the past and 3 diseases of in our current dispensation. So you know all these things. Now, you after gathering information, now you organize the information. Do you get it? This is the pre-writing stage. So let me take you through the slides and see. So in writing such an essay topic, the process involves analyzing the essay title, as I've already discussed with you. In analyzing such a title, it is worth noting the following. The title mentions disease from 2 different eras, present and the past, as I've told you. Two different eras. Do you get it? The past and the present. So you have to pay attention to that. And furthermore, the title proposes differences or dissimilarities in the disease of the past and then disease of the present time. Therefore, the essay should focus on differences and not similarities, as I've already discussed with you. So now you are now coming to gather information. I've already taken you through how to gather information for the essay. So after analyzing the essay title, students will search for information. Information needed for the essay title may include 1. Identifying some diseases of the present age. Okay, currently, okay, let's take it like the present age. Diseases in the present age is what? Corona, and then syphilis. Let's say these are the 2 diseases. And then secondly, identify diseases of the past. So you go to the past. Okay, we can talk about swine flu, and then a disease like what else? I don't know much. These things you need to research and get some of these diseases. But diseases of the, and then let's take like bird flu. Do you get it? These are the diseases of the past. So you are talking about corona as a present disease, and then you talk about swine flu. So now you know that. So thirdly, identifying some differences in the nature of the diseases and in terms of causes, symptoms, mode of acquisition, transmission, and prevalence rate, and then the treatment. So now that you know the disease, how do you go about that? You get it. You analyze how their mode of what transmission, the symptoms, the mode of what that that is, and then the rate, the prevalence rate, and then how you can go about that. You can treat it. So now you have what and you've come to know all these things. So gathering information for the gathering information. The relevant information about the disease may be retrieved from sources like books, journals, articles on health and diseases, medical and health digest, and magazines. In searching for such information, students may use internet pages as well as hard copies. Information may also be gathered through free writing, brainstorming, especially in an examination where students may not have to access sources like books, journals, magazines, and internet. Okay. Now we are coming to organize the information. So after gathering enough information, students should organize the information into an outline which will be followed in the essay. So you need to draw an outline. Okay, this disease I'm coming to talk about I'm coming to talk about coronavirus, and then let's say like swine flu. So what is the mode of infection? What are the symptoms? What are the effects? And what are the ways we can prevent these diseases? So you've come to know all these things. Only relevant information and details should be used for an outline. So the relevant information should be used for an outline, and irrelevant or underrated or unrelated information should be discarded. So any information that is not needed for the essay should be discarded. And then after this is, so we are done with the pre-writing. This is the pre-writing. You've analyzed everything and organize the information, gather the information, organize the information. Now we are coming to look at the writing stage or composing the paragraph. So after organizing the information, the student moves to the second stage of writing process. That is writing or drafting. At this stage, student begins to write or type the essay with the help of an outline. Do you get it? So you write or type the essay with an help of an outline. With the help of an outline. So beginning with the introductory paragraph, students should follow the outline to compose the essay, paragraph by paragraph, and ends with a concluding paragraph. So now that you are done with analyzing the essay title and everything, so you see you're coming to follow the outline. Okay, first of all, you give introduction. When you are writing the essay, you first have to give introduction. So how do I even write the introduction? Okay, I come out with a background. I introduce my thesis statement. Now the thesis statement is going to guide you in writing the developmental paragraphs. That is the points you'll be developing. That's the developmental paragraph. So it is 3 points you are coming to talk about. Disease of the past. So this is the disease I'm coming to talk about. So now it is you can decide to write disease of the past, put those ones in one paragraph, and then put diseases in the current era in also a paragraph. Or you can take one disease like swine flu and coronavirus. One is of the past and one is also a current disease that is in our current or in our time. Okay, so you take that one. So when you take corona, corona is a disease of the swine flu is a disease of the past. So you talk about its mode of effect, effect, or the causes, the treatment, and other stuff. and then you talk about the swine flu, why coronavirus is so different from swine flu. You've developed one paragraph, then you move to another paragraph, then you talk about, let's say, like malaria as maybe a disease that's a current disease, and then you take something like bird flu as also a disease of the past. Then you talk about them, and maybe the third one, you take one disease of the past, and so you can decide to develop the paragraph in this way, or you put all diseases of the past. Maybe you take 3 diseases, you discuss them in a paragraph, their mode of transmission and all those stuff. You talk about them, the causes and all those stuff, and then you go to the current one too. You take them and you talk about them, and then after you are done, you go and give a conclusion and compare them. Why you think they are different? That is it. And then so you must also ensure that you have your body introduction and then the conclusion, and also try to ensure there's unity, completeness, and then coherence in your essay. Your essay it must talk about one thing. You get it? That is the unity, and then the completeness means that you must give enough information. The information you provide, just not just a single information, but give us enough information that will make the essay a complete essay. And then coherence means it must make sense. It must make sense. You must follow the chronological order and all those stuff in writing. Introduce these transitional verbs and all those stuff in your essay. And that is it. So in the introductory paragraph, we should use the introductory paragraph should use a suitable method of introduction. The introduction must include a thesis statement that announces the essay's central idea. The introduction must read interesting. The introduction must read interesting, and then the introduction may identify or mention diseases that are going to be discussed. So your introduction should always be interesting. If you want to impress your lecturer, write a very good introduction. If you want to, some of the lecturers, the moment they read your introduction is very nice, they will be convinced about you. They know that this person is smart. He knows how to organize. They don't worry themselves. Do you get it? But if you prove to them that you don't know how to write, then that's where they will dip, or they will go more into your essays and find mistakes just to mark you down. So pay attention to this. And then after you are done, you need to okay, there could be different ways of composing the body paragraph, as I've already told you. For instance, it may be possible to discuss the same set of diseases from the past and the disease and the present in each paragraph, with each paragraph focusing on how they differ in particular aspects. Okay, in terms of symptoms, mode of acquisition, and then treatment. Also, each body paragraph may identify different set of diseases from the 2 timelines and show how they differ in terms of respect. In some respect, okay, they differ in some respect. So it is how you can take a disease and you talk about its mode of infection. Do you get it? Like I've already explained to you. Or you take one disease of the past, you talk about it, and then you take another one of the present time, and you talk about it in the paragraph. Depends on how you go about that. And then the other one is rewriting or revision. So when we talk of rewriting, this is where after composing all the paragraphs, students may have to rewrite and revise the essay. So rewriting or revision is done to ensure the following. 1, the thesis statement reflects the essay. So make sure your thesis statement reflects whatever you are writing. So it what reflect the essay. If you say you are coming to talk about 5 causes of what malaria, make sure you talk about 5 causes. Don't go and talk about different things. So your thesis statement should what reflect the essay, and then each paragraph may should be what unified, complete, and coherent. As I've already discussed that one with you, and then that paragraphs are in logical order. So, and then the overall essay is what unified, complete, and what coherent, and then the method of introduction and then conclusion is suitable. So the final stage is what is pre-writing. That is what proofreading and editing. So after rewriting and revision, students should move to the final stage of the essay writing process, namely post-writing. So at this stage, students should proofread the essay and edit all errors regarding to punctuation, spellings, grammar, omissions and stuff. So that's why I said that it's likely for them to bring a question like this. Then you identify the punctuations, the spelling mistakes, the grammars, and then the errors. So whenever you are reading, that's why you don't need to skim an essay or scan an essay, but it is always good to do close reading. You pay attention to whatever in writing, in academic writing, and you need to do close reading. Close reading is where you pay attention to every detail and every word. You look at how it is punctuated and how the spellings and everything. So you do close reading in writing academic exams, academic writing exams. You must employ the close reading method when you are reading. You don't read just like that, but you have to use that method, and it can help you identify the grammar errors and all those stuff. It is likely for them to bring something like this, a comprehension. They ask you to rewrite them. So pay attention to that, and it's going to help you. May God bless you, and thank you for watching. Share with your friends, and I believe it's going to be of help to them. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that. God bless you all. I'll drop my next video, which will be on the punctuations. That's punctuation marks, and then this fragment, sentence fragment. So that's going to be my next topic. Thank you.